Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How are you this morning? So good, I hope. Who's ready to make a vision board? I have like all manner of magazines and Oprah's she's always good for some really good inspirational photos. I have Better Homes and Gardens. Seriously, I have everything. And I've started to cut some. So I thought that we could start out by just talking about what a vision board is. And I just want to be clear that this is my first time ever creating a vision board. But I wanted to really talk, the more I talked about it, you know, if you were in any of my classes this week, then you know that I talked about that I had never done one before, that I had taken classes, but I never really did it. But then I really started to think, growing up, and kind of my whole life, I have always had a bulletin board filled with just things that I like. Pictures that I like, words that I like, quotes that I like. It's just always there. Drawings from my child, you know, just everything. So, I guess I've done it, but didn't know what it was. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I just thought that that's how I'm going to go about going through these magazines and gathering things just that speak to me, right? It doesn't have to necessarily point right back to my goals or right back to my one little word. They're just things that speak to me. And so I really want you to think about what your goals are. Good morning, Vicky. That's funny. Are you scrapbooking with other people? That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, I love that you're going to do it. I love that you're going to do it. Good morning, Sue. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, Steph. How are you? Anyway, I just really wanted to talk about your intention. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more I've thought about it, the more I have thought of some goals, personal and business. And you know, when I think about where I want to be in this new year, I have definite ideas in my noggin. And I just really want to kind of plan my journey. Remember, my word is plan. Hey, Tess, how are you? Are you going to make a vision board? I have never done it officially. And I just really, Tessa can attest that I have bulletin boards that have all kinds of pictures and words and all kinds of things. And I've even gathered all the things that were on a bulletin board and put them in an envelope to save them for the future. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I was ready to refresh my bulletin board, I've gathered some of those things and put them in an envelope, and then I find them again and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this ad for an art school with Toulouse-Lautrec on it. And I have had that, oh my gosh, since I was probably in my early 20s. And so I just think that just find things that speak to you, because somehow those things that speak to you will will work themselves in, they will help you manifest where you want to go in 2022. The first thing I noticed, look at this. I found when I started chopping away this morning, let's get 2022 rolling. I thought, ooh, that's perfect. And then I just, I found some words that I liked. I found some images that I liked. And that was just from one stupid thing that, some little pamphlet thing that came in the mail that I'll never use. But, you know, I'll use the imagery. So you do need to think about, and this might be something that you kind of consider as you're going through your magazines. Where do you want something more image based or something more text based, right? That's really something to think about. Word focused or image focused, or a combination of both. I'm going to just start going through my magazines, and as I go through my magazines, I'm just looking for things that speak to me in whatever way. And then I will cut those out. And as I cut those out, I'm just going to make a stack, right? So just know that whatever we gather today, this is too tall. Whatever we gather today, you don't have to use every single thing on your vision board. You can save those in a reference file for later art projects, right? So remember, we could use some of these in our art journal. Remember to gather up your art journal for the pop and paint party art journaling. And then, like I said, I have that brand new art journaling class. Well, it's an art class because it's so much more than just art journaling. It's called Art Alchemy, and please consider taking that because that's just going to be a personal, artistic development journey for all of us. So this is my art journal for my class, my pop and paint party art journaling, and it's just a composition book. Remember that I asked everybody to paint your cover, and then we did this page as our first entry. So I've thought about doing some art, like doing a version of a vision board in both of my art journals. In my art journal for my pop and paint party and my Art Alchemy art journal. I've thought about, that might be a cool thing, just a visual reminder. Do you know, like the back before Pinterest, there was, in art school, we learned to keep reference files. So your reference file could be whatever spoke to you, right? So your reference file could be a turn of phrase in a magazine that really spoke to you. It could be a reference for something you want to draw, a reference of a color combination. It can be whatever you want it to be. So we're kind of taking it old school, right? We're just making an old school reference file. Everybody take a drink. Good morning, Nanette. So glad to see you here. We are just getting started. We're just starting to go through our, oh, just breathe. That's a good one. We're just starting to go through our magazines. And cut out things that speak to us. And I'm just kind of roughly cutting them. I can trim and all of that jazz later. I just want to start to gather inspiration. Look at that one. What you do is up to you. That's the truth, isn't it? And maybe I make more than one vision board. Maybe I make one for my bedroom and one for my studio. Maybe I make one for my studio and one in my art journals. I kind of think I want to do my art journals because I'm kind of in there all the time. And so I want you to think about when you're gathering images, just what would you like to invite into your life? So as you're going through, I want you to think about what your goals are, or your one little word, or just keep that, whatever your motivation and what you want to invite into your life, you want to just keep that in your noggin as you're going through these magazines. Home. I want that. And just remember that your vision board is going to be a visual reminder, and every time you look at it, you're going to refocus. You'll refocus because no one stays focused always, right? Everybody gets sidetracked. I remember even when I learned transcendental meditation, and that was, I was a young child. I think I was 10 or 11. They talked about, good morning, Laura. You repeat your mantra and that your mind will wander. So just think about it like that. Solomon, your mind will wander, but you'll just bring yourself right back. And so that's what I kind of think about or visualize. My vision board will be coming back to my mantra, right? I love the color combination of this, don't you? Anywho, let's just start going through your magazines and gathering your imagery or your words, whatever just speaks to you. Life's officially a picnic. Shut up, how cute is that? I love that. So, is anyone else going through their magazines, starting to look for their visual imagery, whatever that is, whether it's word-based, like I said, or image-based? Activate your within. That's kind of speaking to me. Let's see. Hi, Carolee. How are you this morning? Everyone say welcome to Carolee. She is the owner of Adorn It, one of my favorite companies in the whole wide world. Let's see. So we are creating vision boards today. La la la. It's a memory maker. Ooh, that's a good one. I just love the beginning of a new year. Oh, look at that. Looks like a color wheel, doesn't it? That's kind of cool. Kind of digging that. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it, but something. Hi, Sonia. How are you? Be your own advocate. I noticed that I am picking, so far, mostly words. And that's so funny because I thought I would pick mostly images. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Hello, Catherine. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what? I'm all about inspiring words, that's for sure. I kind of have them throughout my whole house. I do. I do like to go on, one of my goals is to go on more inspiration trips. I like to go on lots of inspiration trips. And an inspiration trip can be to a boutique in town or a desert island. It can be tropical island, I should say. It can be whatever. As an artist, you're always looking for new eye candy, a smorgasbord for your eyes. So I'm looking for images of things that I'd like to see on inspiration trips too. Outside oasis. I kind of like that idea because I really want to, I want my backyard to be an outside oasis. I kind of want my front yard to be an outside oasis too. Because Jeff and I have talked about getting a fire pit. We had a cheap one and it was cheap. Linger longer. I'm digging that too. So I'm just continuing to chop through my magazines. I know that I will not have my vision board done today, but we can all start, right? We can all start and then sorry, I'm getting all sidetracked by my magazine. We can all start the process. If you start the process, then we'll check in again, you know, like maybe in a month we'll check in and see how everybody's vision boards are. I saw a oh, Catherine, that's funny. A crackling fire. You know what? That's funny because I did watch the crackling fire during the holiday time when I needed a distraction from the crazy. I just put the crackling fire on too. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Let's take a drink and then I'll think about it. Lush, I like that. I don't even remember where I was going. It'll come back. So the things that you cut out, they can be, just remember, it doesn't have to be exactly exactly your, like, it doesn't have to fit exactly your goals or your one little word. It can be just something that, like, ooh, I love that imagery. Cut it out and we'll figure out something we'll use it. Oh, I know what. I read an article on vision boards and they said that oftentimes lots of people don't understand exactly what their vision board is until like 2 or 3 months down the road. Then it speaks to them. Like, you don't want to overthink a vision board. Just start to gather, and then you're going to start culling what you want to put on your vision board. And then you want to, but keep that other stuff. Solomon, sorry, doggy. Keep those other images because, or that other, remember we talked about your reference file, because we'll find something else to do with that. But just start, once we get to the part where we've culled what we want to put on our vision board, then you're just going to put the excess aside and then just start to adhere your stuff. And it doesn't have to be a great design. It doesn't have to be, it just needs to be, no matter what it is, it's going to, what the composition is, it's going to be visually pleasing to you, because those are all things that are visually pleasing to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't overthink it. I did see one vision board that was super cool. The whole background of their vision board was columns of text. Like, they just put columns and columns and in no particular order or anything like that. Just columns of text as their base, right? And then they started to build on top of that. So that's something to think about. Life in color. I like that. June 2016. You know what? And that's so funny because I've gone through lots of magazines, and oh my gosh, I've taken piles and piles of them to the nursing homes and the hospital waiting rooms and all kinds of things. Still have some hanging around here. There's something to be said about a physical magazine, isn't there? But I also, like I said, the thing that I got in the mail, that I found a whole bunch of things from, was a brochure kind of thing for an art gathering that I'll never go to. But it had some cool stuff in it. So just note, like, go through your mail. I've even thought about, so I should have talked to you guys about this before, but Christmas cards, you'll notice that there are very few things you get in the mail that have a stamp anymore. Lots of things have that stamped postage, whatever, not a postage stamp. So if you get things in the mail with canceled postage stamps, cut that out and make a pile. Look, I already have. I have scads of them, scads and scads and scads, and we can use those in our art journal too. Everybody, take a drink. This is so pretty, isn't it? I just like the colors. And shut up with these little berry pies on a stick. So cute. You can use canceled postage stamps for all kinds of things. Summer stargazing. So I got my great nephew a telescope for Christmas. And so we talked about how we would look at the same sky, and that I would be seeing the same stars as him. And so I love that. I love that. Ooh, look at that. I kind of just like that just because I like that. Oh, I love this because I want to travel the world. I do have Wanderlust. Anybody else? It does make you, when you're doing this kind of an exercise of just going through a magazine, looking for imagery that you really like, it's kind of interesting to see what jumps out at you, what just kind of speaks to you. And you look at the magazine in a little bit different way than if you were, say, in the doctor's office waiting room, where you're just looking for anything to just, you know, escape a little bit. La, la, la. So I will say that I am not about, I won't throw these magazines away because there might be something else I like in there. And there might be some other things that I can use in other different ways artistically. Okay, done with that one. What is this? No. Oprah, she always has really good imagery. I mean, how about a diamond O? How cool is that? And I will say, her magazines are always made with really nice paper. Her content is always inspiring, and the layouts, the attention to detail is so on point. Ugh, I love it. So I hope you are doing the same as me. Look at this. Doesn't this look like something we could use in some kind of way? All those gems. Look at that. I love that. 15 things we know for sure. Kind of digging that. Don't know what I want to do with it just yet. But I'm just going to go through quickly and kind of see where I'm going. Oh, and this is an old one too. This is Oprah's 15th anniversary, and she canceled her show after May 2015. She canceled her show after 25 years. This was 15 years of the magazine. So, please. That is a little bit of a problem for me. I do border on being a hoarder sometimes, keeping old stuff. But when I go back and look at it, I'm telling you, it speaks to me all over again. says, people say the wisest things. I really like that. Number one, I love the artistic imagery. I love the two because Jeff and I are just two now. Hey Elaine, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I also, I don't know, there's just something about that speaks to me. The ombre of blues. But then this side is full of cool things that people have said. Why settle for crumbs when you can have the whole loaf? Ain't that the truth? Never forget the bridge that brought you across. Oh, that's good. I might need that just for some, you know, a little positive. Oh, here's some more. Oh my, those are fancy. Let's see. More gems. 2000, what is this, 15? Must have been Year of Gems or something. Kind of digging that. Life is trying a recipe that is adventurous. That's for sure, isn't it? So, how's everyone else doing? Is your pile getting big of things that are speaking to you in your magazines? Good morning, Susan Shane. How are you? Look at that one. Girls, you're more beautiful than you know. I think that's probably true for all of us, don't you think? I'm telling you, Oprah's magazines are a treasure trove. Let's see what's in there. Look at this imagery. Isn't that gorgeous? Just I told you, the attention to detail. They have these 4 shoes lined up just perfectly. You'll notice they are lined up perfectly, but then they ripped them on each side. I love that. Captured my attention. Visual imagery. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, fun is back. For me, fun has never left, so I don't know that I'm going to write fun is back. I was talking about what I was going to use for the base of my vision board. So this is where I was going initially. I have this piece of 12 by 12 cardboard that, who knows where I found it. Anyway, so I was really thinking about that as a base that's a nice size, right? And completely doable. And then Jeff got a whiteboard in the mail. And so I go, hey, are you going to do anything with that box? He hates that. So look, I cut apart that box that the whiteboard was in. And this is going to be my vision board. It is probably, let's see, 24 inches wide by probably 18 inches high. However, you know, who knows how I'll do it, but I think I'm going to do it on this. So just know, you could do this whole thing out of junk in your house. You're stronger than you think. Shut up. That's a good one too. Why am I tired all the time? I don't know that that's a positive message for the year. Hey, Chris. How are you? I like the word defy. For me, it's often, it's not, I'm not a competitive person like with other people. That's kind of just never been my jam. But I am very competitive with my own self. I think I just never, like, because competition is with others is kind of such a foreign thing to me, I never know if I'm doing it right. Isn't that a weird thing to admit out loud? Nobody's perfect. Kind of digging that. Invest here. It's already starting to come together in my head, like how I want it to look. How about anybody else? Are you starting to envision it? How you want your vision board to be? Never too late. Digging that. Jeff and I watched this movie last night. It was crazy. Books are a girl's best friend. Ain't that the truth? We watched this movie last night called Don't Look Up. Has anybody seen that? We do not take a trip takes us. John Steinbeck. I like the word voyage. Anyway, that movie was crazy. It was crazy and I like that. Success happens when you work for it. I like that. Conversation feeds the soul. Yes, it does. It was just interesting. You know what? I didn't think I would like it, Nanette. I didn't think I would like it because I'm not really a science fiction-y kind of person. But my husband and my kid totally are. So they, oftentimes I'll get wrangled into watching something. And then it's okay. I mean, I don't, I'm a pretty easy movie critic. I just want to be entertained for a couple of hours. But it was kind of fascinating. So you might give it a try. Oh, look, there's Oprah and Sidney Poitier. That's awfully sad. It is called Don't Look Up. Anyway, it goes, oh, you will. That's good. Your body deserves the best. So good. Everybody take a drink. There's some naughty language in it though, so just so you know. I want to give you a heads up about that. Your intuition has something to tell you. Ooh, that's a good one. How am I going to find something giant like that? Well, I got to figure out a way. I need to figure out a way to use these big messages, because the graphics are gorgeous. Oh, I love these. I remember these have been all over my house for years too. And these, I believe, are perforated. These little, let's see. Yeah. I like to hang these just around my house. I am. The journey is everything. Shut up, Laura. That's a good one, right? I believe joy is a spiritual practice. Yep. I think it's choices, don't you? Oh, I like this home right here. Not the made simple part, but I like the home with the daisy for the O. That's cute. Life is a banquet. Stop it. How cute is that? How are we doing on time? Okay, we've got about 15 minutes. Okay, so I think I still have lots of looking to do. Oh, I love this. I love this author, by the way, in case you were wondering. I think I really want to create the background of mine with the columns of text. That just kind of spoke to me, and so I'm going to most of all look ahead. Yeah. Thrive, like that. I'm telling you, her magazines are the best. They're the best in lots of ways. They're the best in, I mean, now I read everything on my phone. There's this app that Keely turned me on to years ago. The app has changed now. I think I read them through Apple, actually. But it's like $10 a month, and you can read any magazines. Oh, a waterfall technique for Word. Oh, Kath. See, that's interesting. I'm thinking about, I want to have, let's see if I have a little hunk of paper. This is what I'm kind of thinking for mine. I want to have all of those columns of text, right? My whole thing just covered in columns of text, right? Da 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 da. And then I want to have kind of a cluster maybe down here with words that go this way and words that go that way. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of feeling like. And my word is plan. So somehow I dreamed this up last night while I was watching that movie during a slow part. I want to do the word plan, but cut out of a pattern of some kind, but magazine pattern. So maybe it's something that's going to stand out from everything else. I want the word plan. That's kind of where I'm feeling like I want to go. So let's see if that's what really happens. Because best laid plans, sometimes, sometimes we have a different idea. And then I do think I really would like to somehow build a smaller one for upstairs in my bedroom, so that I look at it first thing in the morning and I look at it the last thing at night, so that it's in my noggin. Because I'm kind of all about manifesting. I know some people think that's a little woo-woo and crazy, but I am all about manifesting. Like, I've read The Secret. It's not like I live my life to that, but I do think that what's in your head is what will really happen in your life. Do you know what I'm saying? If you are a negative Nelly and you think, oh, the sky is falling, then the sky in your life will probably fall, because you're kind of drawing that to yourself. So that's why I like to walk on the sunny side of the street. So now I'm not going to be looking for my imagery. I'm going to be looking for the text to fill my, oh, shut up. Look at that. To do my background. I was hoping there'd be more, like, just columns of text, because that's what I really want to fill my background with. I just think that might be a cool base for everything. But think about what speaks to you. Maybe you want to paint your background. Maybe you want to just fill it with these visual images. I should have looked in that Better Homes and Garden for I kind of have an idea in my head of what I want the love that tea. What I want the columns of text to look like. And look at that M. Love that. To thy own self be true. My mom, that was a Shakespeare quote that my mother used to tell me all the time. So I am certainly not done, but I thought that, ooh, good idea, Anne. That's a great idea. Yes, absolutely, Susan. That's what I was just thinking. I'm going to just begin. I will certainly not be finished, but there'll be enough that you can kind of get the idea of where I'm going. So for this, I'm thinking I really want to so I want to keep that I for who knows what. But I'm going to just start and this does, like I said, it doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to I'm just going to, let's see, can you see? Let's see. There, I'll just start there. I'm gonna just start to, where's my glue stick? I like a glue stick. You know what, I said glue stick just because that's easy, but you use whatever adhesive is easy for you. Do you know what I mean? I don't want anybody to think they have to go out and like buy a glue stick or something. Just use whatever you have. Remember, I don't want anybody to ever feel like they can't make art because they don't have the exact perfect supply or whatever. I want people to just make art no matter what you have. I've had lots of times in my life where I just made art out of whatever. When I was a little girl, we used to get, the newspaper came to our house in this, it was wrapped in like a thin, brightly colored, not tissue paper, but certainly not anything with much more substance than tissue paper. And I would be so mad if it rained or snowed on that paper because I would make my mom peel it off so that I could make something out of it. So believe me, I have always made art out of whatever. Okay. Some more text. I want to keep that eye. Maybe, because maybe I could, I don't know, write a word with that, or who knows. So I'm just working on building my background, because I think how close are we to an hour? If you join Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs, or excuse me, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott, that's where I will post a picture when I'm done, or of the process, and that's where everybody else will probably post pictures, so that's where to go to look. Who asked me that? Susan? So do you see, I'm just building my background, right? And then, like I said, I just want to and do you see, I want it to, it's just kind of hodgepodge. I kind of like that. Ooh, this is a good one. Ooh. Oh, I got some big ones. A T and this H. You see, like, it's not perfect by any means. It's just, oh, look at that. It's just kind of, nope, I want it this way, I think, yeah. I'm just filling the space, right? And a vision board, it does not have to be a work of art. I don't want anyone to feel like it needs to be a work of art. It doesn't. It just needs to speak to you, right? I would be less concerned about that than about it being like picture perfect than about it being a positive message to you, you know? I have an M on this side. And look at this. I have a lot of type on this side. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And this one, okay, so now I can start to, I'm thinking I want to start cutting these columns apart, because then I can start to fill in just as I go along. Look at, shut up, I'm loving that. Take a drink. So has everybody kind of started, or are you starting to formulate your plan in your head? The first thing that I would do is write down your goals or your vision, what you want to manifest into your life in 2022. That's what I did. And then grab some magazines and just start gathering information. This one's a longie. Let's see if we cut off the bottom. Yep, I'm kind of liking that. Hi, Jen Campbell. How are you? So how about, because we're getting close to an hour, how about be sure to, if you're brand new here, be sure to follow and like Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then ask to join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott. That's where I'll be posting photos of my vision board, and that's where you can post pictures of your vision board. That's a nice private place. And just know there's all kinds of fun stuff that goes on in there. And just know all of my artsy classes and my art printables are available on my website, AnneCorbiereScottDesigns.com. Art Alchemy is coming up. Be sure to, did I go away? Sorry about that. Be sure to join the private Facebook group, though. That's where all of our stuff will be posted. So I'm going to just continue to fill this whole board that's so big you can't even see the whole thing on my with columns of text, and then I'll start to build my vision board. So how about so look for that in the private group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne Corbiere-Scott. So make sure you're a member of that. And then how about if we meet again in a month about, and see where we're going, see what we're feeling. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll come up with something else we can do with all these magazine bits and bobs. I adore you all. Thank you so, so much for hanging out with me this morning. I can hardly wait to finish. Now I'm in it. I'm raring to go. I hope you are too. I adore you all. Thank you so, so much. Talk to you soon, and I will see you in the private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Ann Corbiere-Scott. And don't forget, next week on Tuesday and Thursday, Pop-In Paint Party. Tuesday will be creating cards and art with my brand new art printable, Card Candy 2. And then Thursday will be more art journaling. I adore you all. Thank you so, so much. Bye, you guys.